What's the crack, everyone? It's Ollie from B2B Sports here. Let's talk that Carabao Cup final, shall we? I'm still pissed off about it, to be honest. I've never known biased commentary like it in my life. But before we get into it, please, can you give my channel a subscribe and give this video a thumbs up? It really means the world to me. And yeah, you would all be greatly appreciated if you could do that. So yes, Liverpool beat Chelsea 1-0 in extra time in the Carabao Cup final at Wembley. Virgil van Dijk with the header. KLOPP'S kids versus the blue billionaire BOTTLEJOBS, as Gary Neville referred to it on commentary. I thought you meant to be impartial, man. What's that all about? I mean, to be fair, the game could have gone either way. Both sides had chances. The ball just didn't want to go into the back of the net. Kelleher made a great save against Cole Palmer early on in the game. Both sides hit the woodwork. It just looked like a game that was destined to go to penalties from the get-go, similar to the last Carabao League Cup final between these two sides. Let's get into the narratives of this game, of this final, that were continuously talked about by Gary Neville, Jamie Carragher and Peter Drury. Liverpool were the ones that had all these injuries, all these inexperienced players playing, but not once on the commentary did they mention the list of injuries that Chelsea have had this year. We have a captain out, Reece James. We have Thiago Silva out, the experience at the back. We have our number one goalkeeper, Robert Sanchez, just come back from injury. They probably wouldn't risk him chucking him straight into a final. We've got Lavia that's meant to be providing this extra midfield support. He's been nowhere to be seen this year. Carney Chukwuemeka out. Wesley Fofana, nowhere to be seen. The list goes on and on for Chelsea, but yeah, that wasn't even considered. Don't even get me started on the KLOPP'S kids statement. Chelsea had the younger side out of the two, both before the substitutions and after the substitutions. They're just chatting absolute nonsense. I get the whole argument that Chelsea younger players had probably had more experience, more first team minutes, but they didn't make that clear. They just kept banging on about the age of the players. I hold my hands up. In extra time, we completely flaked. We should have attacked. You could see as extra time wore on, the Liverpool team growing confidence. To be fair, the crowd got right behind their players. The Ale, Ale, Ale chant just when the team needed it. And they could smell blood. And I have to hold my hands up as a Chelsea fan. We weren't clinical. We weren't ruthless enough to go for the win in extra time. And yet we decide to set on penalties, which is not a player problem, it's a manager problem. I'm a little bit disappointed in Pochettino for not going for that. There's no guarantees that you would win on penalties either. So whilst you have control of your own destiny, why not go for it? Incredibly frustrating from a Chelsea standpoint. Peter Drury didn't help himself on commentary either. He just needs to tone it down a little bit with the analogies, the poetic sentences, the alliteration. Just calm it down a little bit. Not everything has to be like it's just come out of a Latin textbook. Do you know what I mean? On reflection, I'm pretty gutted because it's a trophy that Chelsea could have really won. Liverpool were weakened in the grand scheme of things. Chelsea did have massive chances, and yet we just couldn't put them away. And the goal from Liverpool, you knew it was coming. Liverpool really only had one threat from set pieces, and that was Virgil van Dijk. All we had to do was just mark him, and yet he got away, jumped ahead of Mudryk. Mudryk had no chance, let's be real. But just we had one job, and that's that. The penalty incident early on in the game, I think Chelsea got away with it, to be honest. I have seen those challenges and blocks at set pieces completely being avoided and ignored in the Premier League. So I do think we've got away with one a little bit there. I'll take it, of course. I just think there needs to be consistency in the rules. It just seems to flip-flop so often. And the Jackson offside was tough as well. You know, you're talking centimetres, aren't you? Fair play to Lallana for letting play go on and letting the goal to be scored. But when you're talking millimetres and centimetres, I just like to see the advantage being given to the attacking side. Talking about Jackson, I think Jackson had a good game, to be honest. I think he caused Konate problems. And I was a little bit gutted that he came off. I thought he was physical. I thought when he had the ball and he was running at Konate, he looked dangerous. And I really thought there was a goal in it for him in that game. Chelsea got to dig deep and go again. We've got Leeds tomorrow in the FA Cup 5th round. A big win is needed, otherwise Poch is going to be on the chopping block. The fans won't stand for it much longer, especially after a Carabao Cup final defeat where we should have really won with the teams on paper. But yeah, let us know your thoughts on the Carabao Cup final. I well and truly bit on the bait that the commentators were dishing out. Blue billionaire bottle jobs, honestly. He's had that line prepared for weeks, I bet he has. But is the writing on the wall for Pochettino? Let us know your thoughts down below. But cheers for watching and listening, everyone. Win, lose or draw, keep the faith, up the Chels, and peace out. Cheers.